Wagwan YouTube, what you saying? It is I, Diligent Fingers, and welcome back to another video. Right now, you're going to get into a track breakdown video taken from my Motion Gang Members Club, which is a Patreon style membership service that I set up back in January. If you want to join the Members Club and get these videos as soon as they come out, just go to www.diligentfingers.uk, go to memberships, pick tier 2 and you'll be able to get exclusive monthly tracks and track breakdown videos like this, plus merch like what I'm wearing now. But until then, enjoy the video. Yes, people, wagwan. You don't know who it is. I always get so tempted to do the intro, but I don't need to do the intro. You're already here. You already know who it is. It's me. I hope everyone is blessed. And that I'm really excited about this one. I'm really excited about this track breakdown because it's a tune that I wouldn't say that I've forgotten about, but I've not listened to for a while, but it actually spawned so much in regards to like pushing my career forward and putting me in proximity with such a legend that is Pavan from Foreign Beggars. If you don't know about Foreign Beggars, go and do some research. If you're into your dubstep, 140s and wicked lyrics, wordplay, rapping, do you know what I mean, from the UK, then yeah, you need to know about Foreign Beggars. You need to know about Foreign Beggars and that. But they disbanded a little bit ago, even though there's little inklings of them getting back together, even though Ebo had passed away, which was one of the members. But yeah, Pavan went on to set up Foreign Currency, his own record label, Foreign Currency, and also set up a sister label called Dark Mode, which was more focused on drum and bass and the darker 140s and dubstep and stuff like that. And this track, I managed to get a release on there, which ended up turning into a series with, I think it's 3 remixes. Yeah, there was Aaron Payne's remix, there was Shadre Salvage's remix, and then Phadix did a remix as well, which I ended up, I need to stop saying ended up, which I vocaled as well, which sort of brought everything together, and that really and truly. What I'll do is let me find it. So here's the original.
Tell me, babe, you wanna leave this town? I'm saying, love her if you wanna go on down. It's down that we were meant for bigger things. This place keeps killing our dreams. Let's go, love. I'm saying it's time. The way we leave this whole place behind. Let's go, love. I'm saying it's time. The way we leave this whole place behind. Place behind.
never losing my grip. Holding on to my passion like I need it to live. All the work that I've done, all the love that I give, all it took to bring me back from the edge of the cliff.
So we might as well start breaking this down then, basically. And again, not many tracks. Not much to the drums at all. Really not much to the drums at all. Not much to the actual bass and the body and stuff. Like, there's not much. But sometimes you don't need much. Sometimes it doesn't need to be full of tracks and, you know, I'm not going to say overly complicated, but complicated. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it calls for it, then go with it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, you know? But from what I remember, and that because this was 2021, and that I think this vocal is, it was from a vocal pack that was given to me because I've never had a subscription to Splice, and that I've had other people sign in on my computer, my mate Jam, when he wanted to use Serum, and he didn't have a computer set up at the time, at least, to be able to use Serum and stuff. So we were using it on some of the collaborations that we were working on. And he was getting his head round Logic at the time as well and stuff. So I think the vocal is either from Splice or one of the vocal packs that he gave me. And instantly I fell in love with it. At the time that was going on, there was a lot of people that were trying the thing. Like, I was just starting to like really get into the business side of things, because it was at a point where people were saying, oh, you could make some money, you should be getting paid, this, that, and the third. Do you know what I'm saying? And I was making money, or at least I was getting money from bookings at the time, but it wasn't a lot. But I wasn't focused at that time. I wasn't focused on trying to make money in this, that, and the third and shit beforehand. In 2021, like, or at least from 2018 onwards, and that when I started to come out of like focusing on my mental health, and like CBT therapy and things like that, and making tunes again, and really getting back into production, and really focusing on just getting music out there. And that by the time it got to 2018, by the time it got to 2021, and that I was well into it. I'm starting to see the ins and outs of the business, and I'm starting to see more and more shady behavior, because I'm in that world now. I'm competing, quote unquote, I'm competing with everybody else within that world, and you know, all the shadiness starts to happen. So there was a feeling of, oh, I can't be arsed with this. Like, let's go. Do you know what I mean? It's time. Do you know what I mean? So this vocal really did speak to me.
Let's go, love. I'm saying it's tired of waiting. We can leave this whole place behind. Yeah. Let's go, love. I'm saying it's tired of waiting. We can leave this whole place behind.
Loved it. And I had to come in with like some harmonies on the main hook for myself. Let me turn them up and that, because I think I had them pretty low in the mix, because it's just simple, quick harmonies just to add to the actual vocal and add a bit of me in there as well, because I love harmonizing with stuff.
Let's go, love. I'm saying it's tired of waiting. We can leave this whole place behind. Yeah. Let's go, love. I'm saying it's tired of waiting. We can leave this whole place behind.
Yeah, I mean, but I'll have them in the mix. I'll have them low in the mix, so it's not taken away from the main vocal.
I'm saying it's tired.
And it just adds a bit of extra texture, a bit of extra flavor and stuff. And then from there, it was like, right, let's go. We've got a bassist. We've got a hook. I think it was this melody that I found straight out of just Logic itself. I think I ended up transposing it. Yes, I transposed it up 3 semitones, so then it was in key with the vocal, because I don't think I've touched the... Yeah, I've not transposed the vocal. It's just this sample. And then I was able to add other things like... And just straight, because it's just a wicked patch, just a nice golden bowls mallets patch in Alchemy, which is a stock synth in Logic. Nice, easy. Didn't need to do much to it in terms of mixing and things like that. It was only gonna be in the intro anyway, isn't it? Add some, I think it's strings on this one. Is it Alchemy again? Yep, Alchemy again. Oh no, it's the pad, the space pad. And then if you know me, I've always got to harmonize. It's got to be musical. It's got to be musical. Not always, I'll stop that. It's not always, but if it calls for it, if there's a nice melody, I'm never going to leave it on its own. There's going to have to be some sort of pad, some strings, and some harmonies going with them as well, just to fill in the spaces that need it for a little bit of ear candy or a little bit of tension and release and stuff. If I'm, I think I'm saying that right, or I'm using that in the right instance. But that's what it feels like to me. It feels like it's adding that tension and release to the intro. Do you know what I mean? That uplifting feeling before the actual drop, you know? And then I think I copied that over with the actual strings. So the strings is going to follow the same melodies, but just strengthen it up and add a bit more body to the spacey, breathless pads that are here. Just this nice sustained note. I do love that sustained note at the end, just before the drop. And because it's not the same here, because of the tone switch at the end from the first section. It just ends up dropping so nicely into the drop. And again, because everything was just sounding nice and fitted nice when it came to the drums, because obviously at this point, I think with this tune, we had the vocal, and I think I was sat with the vocal for a little bit, made all of this, and then ended up going to the drop because I wanted to bait and switch, because it was so that all of this sounds so nice. Do you know what I mean? And lovely, and Do you know what I mean? I did want a bait and switch with this tune. I'd seen a couple of examples of it, and I really liked that idea. But a few of them, for me, just didn't really gel together as well as they could do. Because a lot of the time, it's just a case of finding a sample that sounds good, and then if the drop's hard enough, then just slap them together and it works. And to the untrained ear, as long as it works and it makes you feel good and it gets you dancing, that's all that matters. But for me, especially with me wanting to make my tracks more songs than just tracks, which is, you can only do so much when it comes to drum and bass, and it being more of an instrumental genre rather than a vocal genre, even though that's changed a whole lot over the years, which I'm loving in that. But there's only so far with making a drum and bass track into an actual song, But for me, that's always what I'm trying to achieve. Even if it is an instrumental, I want it to feel like it's a song. I want it to feel like it within itself is a body of work. And or at least that's what I try to achieve with as many of my tracks as possible. Because with some tracks, it is just a vibe. It is just a track. It is just a roller. With some of the music that I've made, sometimes you have to just accept that it is what it is. And there's not much more you can do to it. There's not much more you can do. There's no more you can develop it. And sometimes maybe it's just not what it needs and stuff. So I've got the intro down, and now it's working on the drop. And this is at a time where I just wasn't grouping stuff. Now I'm grouping more or less everything. But at the time, I wasn't grouping anything. Anything at all. It was just get the sounds in. Just make sure that they work. Do you know what I mean? Just make sure that they work. So when it came to the drums, just really, really simple. I was really getting into the like really simple drums anyway. And from like watching a lot of people, because in 2018 when I was coming back into it, it was like, right, look, I know that a load of techniques and stuff has changed. So I'm going around to other people's studios, spending time with them, and actively, like, honestly telling them, yeah, I mean, it's like I'm relearning everything in that. Because after like 3-4 years of only focusing on like hip hop and more being lost in like my depression era of making music, because I was highly depressed, PTSD from like finding 2 family members dead and things like that. Like, I think at the time I just split up with my fiance at the time, and so we're talking like 2016, I think. Lost my job. Was it 2014 I lost my job because of my back? I think it was. If it was, then wow. But yeah, it was around that time of like losing my job, my back absolutely like broken, 2 prolapse discs, and that. I'm dealing with mild sciatica leg at the moment, and that where my left leg is just constantly in a mild pain, but all the way down my left leg where the sciatic nerve runs down. Loads of stuff was going on. Broken up with my fiance, living in a completely run down place, and that extortionate like rent prices and things like that. Like, it was a grim time. So I'm making hip hop. I'm writing loads of lyrics that are just depressive. Like, I'm not really thinking about mixed down quality, because you can get away with a fair bit when it comes to hip hop, especially with lo-fi stuff. So like after a few years of that, coming back into production, yeah, man, I was learning off everybody. I'm exchanging things that I know, as well as learning new things from other people that they know. And the really simplified drums, like, really spoke to me in terms of simplifying production within itself as well. So I'm really into these kind of drums. And again, snare from a pack, from one pack, kick from another pack. In terms of what I've done, in terms of the snare, all I've done is put tube saturator on it, so I've not even EQ'd it. Because for me, if it's from a sample pack, most of the time these sample packs, the samples and sounds within these packs are already processed. They're already at a point where you don't need to do much. So I didn't need to do much, but to give the snare a bit extra grip, a bit of extra, like, oh, I'm not gonna say warmth, but a bit of extra punch, bit of tube saturation, vintage style. I think all I did was just push the drive a little bit, from what I can tell. And then with the kick, some fat effects on the kick, so I think it was just straight British clean distortion for the kick, which was something that was originally from Camel Crusher and Camel Fat. But I think Apple bought out Camel Fat, so I was able to just transfer that actual preset over to their own version of Camel Crusher, Camel Fat, which is Fat Effects. So we've got that on there. They proper like 2021, 2020 production. Bit of EQ, not much. Cut out the low end. Bit of a boost around between 60 and 60, mainly around 75, 80. Leave everything else. And then some more saturation from Szechuan Saturator, which I love. Full mix. Normally what I work with is the intensity, and to bring up or turn down the intensity of the saturation from this. But absolutely love it. Wicked free plugin. And that if you're in the Discord, and that you should be able to actually get a load of free plugins and recommended plugins that you can go through and use. Like a lot of stuff that I use in my productions, free plugins, man. A lot of them are free plugins or stock plugins, unless I really, really, really need to use something that's paid for, which a lot of the time is like my FabFilter Pro EQ, Pro Q2 EQ. But for simple things, I just use the in the box stock Logic EQ, and it does the job. It does the job. But that's it on the kick and the snare. I've got everything in the group running through Neutron 3. I think, what did I do? I've turned the EQ off. I've got a transient shaper on, which I don't think I've done much with. It's just for the kick and the snare anyway. Excitement. Little bit of excitement on there. Excuse me. It's bad. I completely forgot about Neutron Elements, and it is good. It is pretty damn good. And I've got more tube saturation on there as well from the Neutron. Then on the group as well, last bit on the group is OTT. Bit of a boost from what I could tell in the lows. That's it. I gotta say, I didn't really do much with OTT anyway, because I just didn't really understand it. I didn't really get what exactly it was doing and stuff. But some people have told me to put it on, mess around with it, and you're able to get stronger drums. But it was doing its job for here because the drums cut through nicely with this. Not much to it at all. And that just to fill that out, just to finish it off with the drums, the odd break here and there, and that just to roll it out. You know, I love adding rides in some way as well as like open hats in places. You know. And if you look on all of these, there's not much EQ just to get the highs on this ride. So it's not conflicting with the other highs, because that sounds nice. And then a bit of chrome verb. That's it. That's it. Now on the open hats, bit of chrome verb. Bit of chrome verb on all of them, to be fair. Yeah. All of them have got their own reverb. And then skip kick. Always got to have a skip kick. Yeah, man. Simple drums. Simple yet effective. That is the main point. That. Then, in terms of bass, in terms of my sub, standard ES2808 patch that I'd made, and then just boost the sustain. I didn't actually boost it that much, to be fair, but bit of a boost to the sustain. And again, because it's such a simple track, it's just one note, so there's not much that you have to mess about with. And that I was trying for ages. To figure out how I create a sub without having, at these times, I didn't have Vital, didn't have Serum. So I'm trying my hardest to create a sub that has that noise, that fizz over the top. Trying for ages. Ended up finding a bass sound from a District 3 Bass Volume 1 and just EQ'd the shit out of it. Put a bandpass on the frequency that I want. And took that bit. Does it sound like the actual proper like fizz, that noise fizz that I can definitely create now with the Behringer Neutron that I've got, with Vital, with Serum that I'm going to be getting soon, because I still don't have my own Serum and that, but I'm gonna get it. And that. And then Sashwan, bit of saturation on that buzz, so it's more of a buzz than an actual fizz. And then wider, 45% stereo width. Do you know what I mean? Then I went through and I actually found these sounds here. Well, that's actually the top. The top part. This is the main sound, I think. Yeah, that's it. And I'll show you what I actually did to get it to that stage. Again, not much. Really not much. EQ. Just EQing that much out of it. So hold on. Here's the original sound. Without it going through the group as well. That's that sound. EQ. Add tempo. The stub toe preset. So this is distortion plugin. One of my favorite ever distortion plugins. I use it on so much. I use it on so many things. It's called Tempo. I can't remember who made it and that, but it's free. You'll be able to find it out there. Tempo distortion plugin and that. I love it. It just seems to be able to get a distinct sound. For me at least, but the more like it gets more widespread and stuff. I don't know. I've not been able to hear anybody else get the sounds that I'm getting out of this unit, but I think that's what makes it so unique, because I know loads of people are using it and that, but we don't seem to be correlated in terms of similar sounds and stuff with the things that we're making. But love this plugin, love this distortion unit. Oi. And then from that, again, this used to be Camel Fat, but now it's Fat Effects. And turn that on, and we had the loop crop preset, and then I would mess about with the actual LFO rate to get the movement that I wanted. And then also, what else has it got on there? Bass enhancer, the band pass. Yeah, the band pass to be able to get it to the frequency that I want. So on the Y, got some compression, hard clipping, bass enhancer, and then the LFO. And then using the band pass once again to get the right frequency that I actually want. And then running it through to the group, some extra saturation from Szechuan Saturator. And then widen it. And then some reverb. Chrome verb. Love putting some extra decay on. Love putting some extra distance. Concert hall just gives it that nice little shh on the end. And then for a bit more in the top end, that's where this one comes in. Again, this middle sound here comes into play. And all I've done on here, EQ'd. Hold on. EQ'd the rest of that sound and just kept. Could turn this off, the Fat Effects and the EQ. Just the sound. I think that sounds like I've transposed it. And then Fat Effects to go along with. So that makes up all of that. Not much. Not much at all. And then then all I'm doing after that is just adding extra hits. So again, big shout to my brothers, Shadre and Salvage. They sent over some sounds for me to use. And all I'm doing with these, so on here, EQ that I've not used, reverb, no decay, just quick little bit of reverb, and then I've put the distortion after the reverb. Oh my god, what happened there? And I've done it afterwards. I don't know why, but I think I heard a tip. I heard something about actually putting the reverb before distortion, and it creates a different sound. So in a way of like in a way of wanting to differentiate this sound from the standard Shadre and Salvage sounds that they've got. Use a bit of tempo, but use it in a different way. And that find ways of filling in the spaces. And that's, I've got another sound there. Why have I muted it? Then that one, this is actually time stretched, so it's that sound, this sound here, but I stretch it out. Crazy. And that's what it came out with. I don't know why the waveform looks like that, but yeah, because I love a bit of time stretching, taking sounds, time stretching them, transposing them down. And on theirs, again, same again, reverb before the distortion in terms of chrome verb, before temper. I'm just duplicating tracks. If I want to do something different with the same sound, I'm just duplicating the tracks. So I'm keeping all the effects, keeping all the settings and that, but then I'll just switch it up and time stretch or reverse or, you know, bounce down and then put back onto the same track. So it's those processes are going, it's going through those processes again. But nothing to it at all. Quick cymatics sample just to fill in space. And what did I do on here? Didn't do much. No tempo, just kept on the chrome verb. What does it sound like with tempo? That's why I didn't put tempo on. That's why I took that off. Okay, cool. And then here, I just love these sounds. I love bringing in this pound bass. And then that, cymatics once again, bit of EQ, mothership bass, one shot. And then with this one, I think it's just transposing it down and stretching it out. In terms of the processing, just a bit of EQ. Same here as well. Just a bit of EQ. That's it. Left it, and I think it's going through. Yep, it's going through to a group, the bass fill group, which does have tempo on it. Default, wider for some spread, and console hall reverb. Not much decay, 50% distance, 15% wet. Not much at all. That, and then got the lower tones. So with this one, all I've done is transpose it down 7 semitones. and knows that district. It's mad because that district sound is what I'm actually using for the fuzz, but I'm using sound 12 instead of sound 16. Excuse me. Ooh. And this fill noise here, I'm using the same 3-pack district 3 bass pack, just transposing the notes so they fit what I need to fit. Madnesses. Really is simple. Then when it comes to the switch, all I've done with the switch is duplicate the track. So duplicated this track to here, and then changed the LFO rate on this track so that it does a different LFO rate. What's the one on here? This one, it is a straight 1/8 T, and then this one just dropped down to a 1/4 T. Just to add a bit of differentiation. And then for the last bit, because I wanted to make sure when it comes to the switch, it's got that differentiation, but it's not the same. It's not the same sort of arrangement as when it dropped, and that I kind of like just leaving the last 16 bars for just the sub, for it to roll out just before the actual breakdown. I do that in a lot of tracks, to be fair. It seems to be becoming a bit of a signature of mine. So first variation. Bringing that lower tone in a lot sooner. And then you can hear that there's higher notes within the sub now, and that's because we've got this melody that's coming in. Where I'm actually doing the bass itself in that rather than, so I've EQ'd, here's the main melody, and that's the name of the actual sample. So it wasn't from Logic, it's from Cymatics. Cymatics Gems, Volume 11, Dreamscape. Wicked sample. And that, but then I've got that main melody sample in again. EQ'd most of it out, as you can see here, compared to no EQ at all on the main sample. Now, and that's the drop. That's the first drop. Cushy. So to hear all the second drop in context, because we've listened to the first drop a couple of times now. yeah, man, that's it. That's it, basically. The second half of the track, the intro is the first intro, is the intro. The breakdown is the intro again, basically. Second half of the track, I think, from the looks of things, it's the same again. It's the same again. Let me just echo out the vocals. But yeah, man, I was listening to at night. This could be considered lazy in regards to just taking what you've done, copy and paste, so it's the intro, it's the drop again, it's everything that we've done before. That's fine. Could be considered lazy. I do look back now and think, yeah, I could have done a bit better. I could have added some more variation. I could have switched up the second drop. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe change the drums or whatever. But because it just worked as it is, and there wasn't more that was needed, we've got all of our risers, sound effects, ear candy bits to keep things interesting, samples to ring out. You know what I mean? Get some of these in just to. With these sounds, it's a lot of Valhalla, because I love this Valhalla freak echo. There's so much stuff that you can do with the shift, with the delay, low cut, high cut, feedback. So much stuff that you can do with it just for this little delay plugin. I've not used it for so long. I used to use it all the time. All the time. So I need to get back onto using it again, really, because, excuse me, it's a wicked plugin. Some of the samples themselves, like here, I would have thought that had a delay on it, but it doesn't seem like it does. Oh yeah, no, that's the one that it does. Riser towards the end before the breakdown. Down riser. Just to bring it back down, make it feel like it is a proper breakdown. There we go. Yeah, overall, all of these effects are going through to the effects and risers bus, and then on there again. So there'll be some stuff that have got double delay on them. Reverb. And for people that think that you have to add a lot of stuff in terms of ear candy, that you don't. You really don't. Sometimes it's just about placement. Sometimes it's just about how much feedback you have on from the delay plugins that you're using. Sometimes it's just about, the volume, where it's placed in between some of your sounds, some of your main sounds that you've got. Like, yeah, sometimes it is just going through it, trying different things, adding stuff, taking away stuff when you realize it may be a bit much, But yeah, from what I can remember, it wasn't that this was a quick tune to make. By no means was it a quick tune to quick track to make. There was a lot of stuff that I remember that I was still learning from other people, and techniques that I was still learning from other people, which again might not seem like much from the amount of effects. If I bring up all the tracks and that, it might not seem like much from the amount of effects that's here. If you look, it's just a lot of EQ, chrome verb, temper, some compression in regards to for side chaining the sub with the kick. But not much, man. Not much at all. Because sometimes less is more. In this instance, it's even like, again, less was definitely more. Sometimes it's just good sound choices. But yeah, this one's another one where, you know, it didn't take much, but it made, at least for me anyway, it made this a very significant impact. Most definitely. So yeah, man. That's it for this month's track breakdown. I hope this one was a lot more informative, a lot more insightful than the last ones that I've been doing. It was definitely a longer video from what I can tell. It felt like it. But yeah, man. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to speak to Pavan and see if he's up for more remixes, maybe some more remixes coming out from this, or at least up for me doing a remix competition with this track, or maybe another one of my tracks that I've done in the past. What I'll do is, if you're in my Discord, I'll feel some things out in the Discord and that. But if you want to be part of the remix competition, you are going to have to be a members club member and that. So you are going to have to sign up. This is probably something that I'm going to clip for the end of the video to like bring people in and stuff. But yeah, man, I think I'm gonna get like a remix competition underway. And that you will have to be a members club member if you want to get involved. But I think I am gonna get a remix competition underway in that, and then the winner will get a full-on release on Spinal Records, as well as a booking at an event that I'll be putting forward, a Spinal Records event that I'll be planning for later on this year and stuff. Yeah, depending on how much time that I have and that, because it is just me one at the moment. I so need a team, but I need to find people that I can trust and that before I bring them in. But yeah, depending on how things go this year, I'm going to try and get a remix competition set up to go alongside an event that I'll be trying to get set up as well. But yeah, anyway, enough of me waffling. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was a wicked video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having an amazing day, an amazing week. Take it easy. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your mental health. Why? Because good mental health is wealth. Trust me. And as always, blessings to you all.